breakfast every morning. I make sure he gets his breakfast, he gets his snacks, he gets his breast milk while you get your coffee with some milk. Your coffee with some breast milk. You didn't notice, but I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
No wonder my beard been connected.
It's all the vitamins.
No wonder my beard been connected lately.
Hey, it's expensive, okay? Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, party people? I am comedian Ron G, and this is my lovely wife Manal, aka Pooty. And welcome to another episode of Q&A with Bay. You are hilarious. I almost died just now before we started. Apparently, it was a spider on me.
It's a baby spider.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like it was a huge spider.
It's a spider, regardless. I'm not touching that.
So you just gonna let me die?
Mm-hmm. You wasn't gonna die as a baby. If anything, you're just like, ow.
So you think if a baby cobra bite me, I won't die?
No.
So look, man, we got a great show for y'all today, man. So I got provoked today by starting this show because I wanted to ask my wife, particularly because I hear about people. We're in a very unique place in our marriage. I feel like we have a kid and we're almost 5 years. And is it the 5 year-ish? Is that a thing? Is it 5 or 7?
I don't know. I thought it was 7.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
7?
I thought it was 7.
Well, I think it's a pre-itch that's happening right now.
Oh, you pre-itching?
It's pre-itching at 5. Just because of...
dang.
No, because we're doing life at a high level. Like the way you mom, the way that you're a wife, and the way I'm a husband. I don't think we like half doing this thing. Like we fully committed. And I think when you're fully committed, that's when life happens, you know? If you didn't care, if I didn't care, this probably would be way more easier.
True.
But we do care. So it's like...
care a lot.
We both care a lot.
I overcare, according to you. Or overwork.
You overwork, yeah. I don't say overcare. I don't know if it's possible. But yeah, we in it, man. But I wanted to ask you a very specific question because I realize that we're not the only ones going through what we're going through right now. But what would you tell your younger self to prepare you for marriage, knowing what you know now?
What would I tell? Man, there's a lot of things I would tell myself.
Let's go.
But for starters, I think the first thing I would tell my pre-married self is be patient. I mean, I realize every day I have to consciously tell myself, I'm like, be patient, Manal. Be patient. Every day is not a holiday. Choose your battles wisely.
Anything specific?
So, I mean, for example, like even with our son, and so I do things certain way, you do certain things, you do things certain ways, and sometimes I'm just like, that's not how it's supposed to be done. But be patient. Let him do it his way. Just be patient.
But
that's
did he
just
die?
like a prime. No, he didn't die.
Did I die?
No, you didn't die because he didn't die. Because if he died, you would have died. But no, I think that's the first thing that popped to my mind when you said that right now, because I'm just like, the amount of patience I've had, I thought I was a patient person, to be honest with you.
You did?
I thought I did. I thought I was, because I was like, I always dealt with a lot of patience. But but I also, I was oldest of 4 kids.
I see what you did there.
I was oldest of 4 kids, and I'm just like, I'm always constantly having to make sure that I'm patient. But boy, when you are married, living in the same household, and you're 2 different people trying to make it work in one small environment, you're just like,
yeah.
So that's the first thing that came to mind. What about you?
Ask me a question.
Comedian Ron G. What would you tell your younger self, Ron G, before he's comedian Ron G, about marriage?
I don't think there's honestly nothing that I can tell myself, knowing what I know now, because there's no reference point for half the stuff we go through. Like the stuff that you and I deal with right now, there's no reference point for like, man, if you do this now, when you get married, you'll be able to handle it. Because we got married 2019, 2020 happened, everything went upside down. Then when we came outside, my world...
Outside was upside down?
Outside was upside down. My world as a comic was upside down. Was people scared to go to comedy clubs. People weren't auditioning. Then we had the strike.
People were slapping comedians.
You're so funny. Facts. And then we had the strike.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're coming out of the strike and like Hollywood's kind of sort of opened back up. Everything still feel kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? But everything that we went through, I'm gonna say, I feel like all I gotta tell myself is be flexible. Pause. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, okay.
Be flexible in the sense
now?
of, no. Be flexible in the sense of you gotta learn how to pivot. Because we've had so many different things, like how I saw our marriage and how you saw our marriage. Like, you're a career woman. I think to your heart, like, you're a career woman. Like, you're very, you like working. You enjoy working, and you like an overachiever at work. That's what you do. But when you got sick during our pregnancy and when baby got sick, it's like everything shifted. But I do believe there's a blessing in having the baby because we haven't missed a beat.
Absolutely.
We haven't missed a beat.
But a total chaotic blessing.
right. They love to eat.
It was the most beautifulest tornado I've ever seen.
Little Tasmanian devil. Tasmanian devil? Oh yeah, Bam Bam. I don't know if y'all watched the Flintstones growing up, but
I was like, who's Bam Bam?
yeah, it's a strong little kid, man. Very strong little kid. You can't tell him that. If he want to cry, like, ain't no, hey son. He be like, ah, and just knock everything off the table and keep running harder. But yeah, like learning how to pivot, man. Like that's the biggest thing. Because even now, it's like every day is something different, and I'm grateful again, like that I have a teammate like you because, man, these last couple of weeks and like how I had to move to try to make it happen. It ain't even. It's worse than that. We're like, whew. Like just you supporting me while we go through this transition of figuring out what's next. It's been a lot, you know. And now I'm grateful we can see like the sun is actually coming out and the clouds moving. But it's
the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, man. But I'm grateful we have that. But yeah, patience. Is there anything else that you think about that like you wish you knew ahead of time?
Well, I don't know if I necessarily would have wished I knew this ahead of time, but what I did learn that I didn't know that this would happen before I got married is you're not gonna woo me and pursue me every day like you used to. Before you was always trying to be like, hey, look at me, I'm coming around you, I'm gonna take you out.
That's how we now you want to do the voice?
And now you're just like, I'm like, hello?
Is it that bad?
What? Sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Not all the time. You do compliment me sometimes when you remember. Or like
when I remember.
Yeah, meaning like if I'm about to go out and I look real cute with my girls, you're like, oh damn, you look good.
I compliment you in your organic state.
When was the last time you complimented me in my organic state? Outside of saying puppy breath.
You do have puppy breath, but I still
That's like a compliment.
Baby, the last few days I'm like, yo, you look good. And you like, you make faces. Just like I have a hard time receiving too. Like I tell you every day I think you're pretty.
Facts. I forgot about the few days. I think I was thinking of the whole year together as a whole large lump sum. You did say that.
You really showing out right now.
I said my bad. I just apologized publicly. Excuse me.
What?
Okay.
You know what? I feel like we need a bail
Apology
or something.
number 3. Ding, ding, ding. Is this for
Apologize. Apologize number 4 times.
Wait, it's only February.
That's amazing.
Great.
No, it's more than great. You doubled your score from last year.
No. I was doing great last year too. But I think
no, this year is way better.
No, but honestly, I think sometimes like you get so comfortable being with your person all the time that you do forget to like constantly try to I don't want to say pick them up or
the cloud be following me. Being an entertainer, these ups and downs, like I'm grateful that I have you to go through it. Like, I'm used to going through it by myself, so the fact that you're willing to do that, and I know it's not easy to be with somebody who battles depression and anxiety and stuff like that. Like you and I, we had a whole heavy conversation, and you wanted to tell me how you felt, and I had an anxiety attack right before we had that conversation. So I mean, I can only imagine what that felt like.
Excuse me, that was a lie. You said what? I had to tell you something how I felt.
You had to tell me something about how you felt.
Right.
I had an anxiety attack before that moment happened, and we finally talked about it, but I was coming out of an anxiety attack, so you like trying to be delicate with the moment, but also sharing how you feel. Like, that's not easy.
Oh, that day.
You forgot?
Oh, how could I forget? No, that day was just crazy. And I think, I think that's a different topic, but let me get back to wooing and pursuing your partner when you get married, because I feel like sometimes that falls in between the cracks, and I did retreat what I said, and I said sorry, because you have been telling me the past few days, like, oh, your face looks good. And I was like, is it because I went to the
you look good. No, you have this grand thing about what it's supposed to look like. Like, you think when you're made up, you look good. I'm like, no, you look good with a ponytail.
You did. You
I
did
was
say
in
that. You did say that. But I was gonna say like, cause I guess before it was thousands of compliments, and then they get less when you get married and live with each other. And then sometimes you just walk outside looking like I'd be walking outside looking like trash with my sweatpants, hair up in a ponytail, like you said, and then it'd be like somebody outside be like, "Damn, what's up, Ma? You look good. Can I get your number?" And I'm like, "Damn, I thought I was looking like trash. Okay." And then I come home and it's like, it's dry in these streets.
You forgetting something though. You're forgetting
What am I
something.
forgetting?
We have a whole human that we're responsible for. So life is just a little bit different in addition to that. Not that I don't compliment you, but for both of us, before, I'm not going to say somebody showed up, we got down. We never missed a compliment
No.
each other. We never not went on dates. We hung out and everything was just like that. Like, hey, let's go do this. Let's go to the beach. Let's go travel. Let's go whatever.
Date night, yep.
We did it. Now we have a whole human. So both of us literally probably live in sweats at home.
But with that being said though, because I feel like sometimes with the anxiety or the cloud that you call it that goes with you, sometimes you forget. But I make sure, like I legit make it an itinerary every day to make sure I compliment you. So every single day. I don't think there's ever been one day that has not gone by where I'm like, "Hey handsome," or "You look good, handsome."
You called me about my government
damn. Today.
You called me about my government today.
Get out the
and
shower
I was
and I'm
highly
like,
offended.
"Damn."
You're so dumb.
But I always make sure I compliment you because I know that is something that you do like and you do enjoy. But you're right, I did call you by your government name today.
You did.
Because I was mad AF.
You
I
was
said,
mad?
"Ron, you better get your butt over here right now."
You did come. I'm like, I get mad when she called me by my government name. It's disrespectful around here to call people by their government name in this house.
Because usually I say, baby, handsome,
Yeah.
where you at?
I'm like,
And
woman,
today I was like-
thing. Oh, I'm just playing. Okay.
You didn't-
Thing, listen.
Oh
No.
my Lord.
But yo, I feel like we both good about complimenting, but I just feel like
You was slacking, but you getting better again.
Okay, touche. I take it on the chin.
Okay.
I'll take that on the chin too. But again, like we have a whole human we're responsible for, so that has changed, and I don't think there's anything that prepared us for like adding a child to our mix.
No. Well, whatever.
Respectfully.
You're right about that, but we'll talk about that on the other.
You keep moving stuff. What happened?
Well, because that
I got you.
okay. I was like, am I confused? But what's
No.
another thing that you would have told yourself?
Man. I feel like the level of communication that we do is on a level I've never experienced in my entire life. Like, there's no reference point for the way we communicate. For my jobs, I communicate for a living, and it's still not even in comparison to the level that you want me to communicate in our household.
Please elaborate.
Um,
Communicate.
right. So, most of my life is done in the car. All my conversations with my friends, most of my life is done like en route somewhere. So if I get a phone call and somebody want me to do something next week, I'm like, okay, cool. I go to my comedy show, I come home, and then 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I got a show next week. And you're like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, oh, well, they told me in the car, and I had a show, and I forgot to put it on my calendar because I was driving, and I forgot to say that. And now that we have another human, respectfully, I won't say his name, I have to like
He gonna slap you.
he
Princess
is.
just gonna slap you.
But I'm saying like I have to be mindful of our schedule because my schedule affects your schedule. You know, so me communicating about stuff like that, or hey, I'm having a whole anxiety attack and I don't know what's wrong. The other day I was quiet and I know I was probably breathing hard. You like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, hey babe, I had a whole anxiety attack. I'm back. That's like right. Yeah, man.
He's
That's
like,
perfect timing.
false.
Perfect timing, man. But it's like
I didn't even know you had. Well, I was in the playpen with our baby, and then he came in. He's like, I just had an anxiety attack. I was like, wait, what?
I know, but what I'm
I
saying
didn't
is
notice
like
you were in the kitchen.
because there's this extra human there. The focus is on the human, the other person. So while we be going through stuff, usually we looking at each other in the eyes like, hey, you want to watch another episode of Love is Blind or something like that? But now we like looking at him, trying to notice each other and going through our own little personal battles in each other's face. And nobody talks about that.
True. It's definitely, like you said, learning how to be flexible and pivoting, because before it was just us, so we're able to cater to each other and water each other all day, every day. But now that there's a third person, this triangle is
Yeah.
is a lot of work.
So as simple as, can you speak on the area of like the sacrifice you got to make this thing work? Like the whole, I'm gonna say our this machine of our marriage and family.
What do you mean?
Like the sacrifice. Like what does that look like for you? Because I'm like, even today, like, I stayed up late last night. You were tired, and I knew I had to get up early because I'm like, I have to make sure baby's good so you can rest. Because I know you were super tired last night. And I got up early. I made sure I cooked. I fed him, and I spent time with him. And I was trying to like study with him, or whatever. But like getting up doing that, what I know you were tired. Like I saw that. We didn't have a conversation about it. I was like, I got him. You know what I'm saying? Because usually I sleep till whenever. You know what I'm saying? But like, I got up super early.
How did it feel to do all that?
I prepped myself last night to do it, so I was okay. Like, I'm fine, even though I had meetings. Because usually you'll be like, I know you got meetings, I'm gonna let you, sleep in so you can rest. But today I was like, I didn't even think twice about it. And that's like, that's something I usually like, I say I feel in that area. I'm not consistent. I'll say I'm not consistent. You can.
Oh, I'm just waiting for you to finish. No, the reason why I was asking you how did it feel is because sometimes I feel like a lot of people take motherhood for granted, and they just feel like, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom, you get to relax and chill and do this and do that. And it's just like, sometimes when you do what I do every single day and you do it for a few hours, you realize, and you're just like, holy cow, I'm out of it, I'm discombobulated, I can't even think because I woke up early. But it's just like the amount of time that it takes to literally, and I know people are gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe he's still doing this, he's one he shouldn't be doing. Hold on, he's one he shouldn't be doing this. I'm talking.
Okay, I'm just saying, don't prep people. Like,
but what I'm prepping with people is because I've realized when I said this, and I was like, yeah, I still wake up like every 2-3 hours and nurse my son. Everyone's like, what? He's one. He's supposed to be like done with that a long time ago. But it is what it is. He still gets up every few hours to breastfeed. So I have yet to get a full night's rest without my sleep being chopped and screwed. So every single night.
Chopped and screwed?
Yes. Every single night. But so being like, or not being sleep intolerant, but having lack of sleep every single night and being able to operate in the level of, you have to always be alert, you always have to be ready, and every single day is like I'm taking care of 2 humans, well 3 including myself, but it's like I have to make sure I cook for baby, then I have to make sure I cook for my husband, and then I have to, every single time I do anything, I always make sure they're taken care of first. Like I make sure you get your coffee every morning, I make sure you get your breakfast every morning, I make sure he gets his breakfast, he gets his snacks, he gets his breast milk while you get your coffee with some milk. Your coffee, yeah, coffee with some breast milk. You didn't notice, but I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. No, it's
no wonder my beer been connected.
It's all the vitamins.
No wonder my beer been connected lately.
Hey, it's expensive, okay?
That's funny.
That is expensive. That's gold liquid right there. But so yeah, always making sure that you guys are good, and whether it's making sure you sleep, making sure he sleeps, making sure that you are able to make it to your meetings on time. Like I just want to make sure that I relieve you of all the stuff that you have that has to do with baby when I know you have stuff to do, because I know that when you have too many things going on and your ADD kicks in and it's just like it's too much for you. So I always have to make sacrifices because I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just make sure he's good, because when he's good, the whole house is good, baby's good, we're all good. But it takes a lot of sacrifice.
I just want to say that I feel like you do motherhood on such a high level that most people don't understand. Even the way we communicate and the way we love on each other, I feel like it's at the adult level, which most people will never get to because everybody's stuck on it should happen this way because this is how it started in my head. We're past that. We in this fight, we in the war, and this is how it is. And we learn every day what this is how it is look like, because something happens every day. Just all the variables that happen. I'll get a phone call and gotta go, and you're like, I got him, don't worry about it. Or if you need to do something, I'm like, yo, let me watch him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful that we have you to figure that thing out with. Now, that being said, you mentioned you want to make sure that you're good. I try to do the same thing. That financially, you don't have to worry about nothing. I feel like most people don't talk about that either. Like, what you bring to the house, I know I can't do. Like, if I had to do this by myself, I know this house is being shambles. Something's going to suffer. Either it's the baby or the house going to be nasty and dirty. Something's going to suffer. And somebody not going to...
How long does it have to take for you to be alone for the house to get into the shambles?
I'm going to say at least 7 minutes.
I was going to say about 2 hours, but
about 7 strong minutes.
You're worse.
Because even watching how you play with him, like, it's a whole whirlwind. You know what I'm saying? So when you put him down and go to sleep, and I get home, I try to straighten up a little bit so you don't have as much work to do the next day. I try. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, when he wake up, it's a whole nother whirlwind again within the first 5 minutes of him being up. So it is what it is.
True. But I wanted you to explain when you said high level of parenting. Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
You do motherhood on a high level, meaning like you still breastfeed. You don't have to, but you choose to make sure he's healthy. The way you prepare his food, because you still breastfeed and prepare food, which is another thing. You go by, I guess, the preferred diet of what he should have. Like you ain't just giving him generic, I'm gonna say, stuff with a commercial that's bad for him with bad stuff in it. Like you could just give him baby food if you want to, but you don't do that. You like prepare and cook. And because my wife is very conscious, we don't have a microwave, so now we literally have to cook everything to heat it up. So it's no, I think it's a dope thing. It's just more work. Like we don't use a microwave, so now we have to heat everything up on the stove to like reheat it. So that's another nuance that most people probably don't do. But it's like it takes everything a little bit longer. But I feel like in the long run, everybody's healthy, you know? Okay. And that's just on a high level. Like I said, just the way you love on him. Like you're so attentive to his needs and feelings. Another day you like, he's pooping. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, look at him right now. He's pooping. And my son was just looking at me like this.
He's so
and I was like, you want me to go change it? She was like, no, he's not finished yet. And then he'd be like, huh.
Snitching all day.
That's how he laughed.
Again. He's snitching. You telling all his business.
Hey, he'll just poop and look me in the eyes like this. And then he'll laugh, be like,
he doesn't even like when you look at him. I'm like, he's pooping, don't look at him.
I know, and I look
at him. You don't like when you look at him because
I'm like, how you know that?
You're going to cut it short. He's just going to go back
there
again.
Break it off. He going to pinch it. He going to break it off.
Short. It's going to be an introverted one.
That's funny. Little chocolate payday.
It's going to be an inny naughty.
That's funny. But I'm saying, like, the fact you notice his nuances, like, you can tell, like, now I can finally tell when he's sleepy. Like, when he rubs his hand with the back of his wrist, I can tell when he's sleepy, you know what I'm saying? But you can tell when he poop, like, when he's doing something, when he's, like, not happy or whatever, like, you're just very mindful of him. And I think that's what dope moms do. Sometimes people be like, stop crying, or tell him what he shouldn't feel. And you're like, no, I understand, or tell me what you need. So we try to figure it out together. And I just think it's dope because we know people who just mother on a different level. But watching you do what you do, I couldn't do it. But I think it's a beautiful thing because he will appreciate it. And it's one of those things about our legacy that you don't always see it the day of, but later on, we'll be grateful that we raised him the way we have.
Yeah. I was going to say, I see it. You come home and he'd be like, slap.
Right.
Like, thanks, that was for me, son.
Right.
But that's why I asked to elaborate on that because I honestly, like, I thought for a long time until speaking to so many other mothers and fathers or parents in general, I thought the way a parent was normal. And everyone's like, wait, what? You puree his food or you make his food from scratch or, you give him this type of water, not that type of water. So, and then, or like, you do this with certain type of doctor's appointments or vaccinations or holistic food. Like, there's just so many things that I'm just like, I thought all this was normal. And then Ron's like, no, you do this at a high level of this. Or sometimes I'm complaining and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I don't get sleep. And Ron's like, well, because you choose to raise him in a high level.
First of all, you give me an attitude. I don't have an attitude about that. I'm like, you're his mom and you do research on everything.
You don't blame me for doing too much because I want to. You're like, you don't have to do this.
No, I'm saying that's a byproduct of you being tired. You can't complain about being tired. So you can't complain about being tired. But if you do this kind of way, it leads to being tired. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, I'm not saying you can't complain, but that's what it is.
What you said, you tired because you choose to do it this way. I didn't say it's right or wrong. I'm just saying what you tell me. So,
or example, him sleep training.
Okay.
Like,
what does sleep training mean?
So sleep training is how you get a kid to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So one is my son was sick when we first had him, so we chose not to sleep train him because he had some health issues or whatever. And the more he cried, the worse his condition. Mm-hmm. So the more he cried, the worse his condition got. So we chose not to sleep train him during that time. But now he's like older now and probably could sleep train, but I think it's past the window of letting it happen.
There's never a window that passes to sleep train. I just choose not to sleep train.
But what I'm saying is,
chose not to sleep train.
I'm not against it because I enjoy him in our bed, even though initially I'm like, ain't no kids sleeping in our bed. But now it's like, it's one of those pivots that you got to learn, which I mentioned earlier. You got to be flexible. You got to.
I used to say the same thing. You don't remember? I was like,
we both like,
baby ain't sleeping in our bed.
No.
Nobody's going to. Dude, his own room was set up and ready. When I was, 6 or 7 months pregnant, the whole room was ready. He had his crib. Everything was ready. So we're like,
put everything together.
Man, that boy still hasn't even barely used his room.
His room is unused.
His room is still, what's it called? A model home room.
Yeah. The demo room. But I will say this, every now and again, like when you and I have an argument, we go to bed, I wake up and my son usually throw my phone at your head in the morning when you sleep.
It's okay. He'd be slapping you when you're recording him, so
He
fair
definitely
game.
He did try to slap me in that video. It was a strong slap too. I felt the wind.
He was like, whoosh.
And he's strong too. Little bam bam, that boy's strong.
Yeah, that's true. Anything else you would have told? You would have told old Ron when you was young Ron?
Oh, young Ron? Man, have fun. I just feel like in all we go through, we still find ways to have fun. Well, you and I have had some I won't even say nasty arguments. We've had some heavy conversation and wound up finding it funny. Yeah, and wound up having fun at the end. Like we just find a way to make each other laugh even when it's tough. And I think that's, again, I always say that's our superpower.
Yeah, having fun is definitely your superpower.
Yeah, but just learn how to laugh through the whole thing. Because I don't, and then like always give you goodwill because I know you never mean to hurt me. Like ever. Like, even when we have arguments, I know you never mean to hurt me. But we all doing life and we have our own way of doing things, and like those two things clash because we live together and it's like we're building a family. But I also love when we have a heavy conversation, on the other side of it is another level of intimacy that we never had. And that's right.
If it all goes well, yes, absolutely.
What do you mean if it all, what are you trying to say?
No, what I'm saying is like sometimes I feel like sometimes people don't do conflict resolution well. And I feel like we used to not be great at it at the beginning when we met, but now we have gotten to a point where our conflict resolution is so good. It's like we've worked on it so much consistently, and I feel like that's part of the communication that you said you've never done communication to this level, because we communicate everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, how you feeling, communicate. Or if I ask him something, he'd just be on his phone, and in his mind he might have said or responded. I'm like, I didn't hear you. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Did you hear me? Did you communicate with me? Are you my exclamation mark?
Just how you end the sentence. Do you hear me?
Period. But I feel like, so sometimes conflict resolution, I mean, you have to build up on that because, like you said, sometimes we have heavy arguments or debates or whatever it is. But at the end, when we find a solution where we're both comfortable with, it really is a different level of intimacy that we do reach, because especially the last time we had spoken and we both basically broke down, it was like, I felt like it was like 365 days of built up pressure, anger. It was like a...
Where do we have that? Where was the conversation held at?
Oh, it's held in the playpen. It's going down in the playpen. I think that's probably what helped it, because it was just like so colorful and cute. It was just like kind of subconsciously zenning us down. But it was a heavy conversation. And like he said, he was going through a lot for the past few months. So all the stuff that I wanted to tell him, I couldn't tell him because it was never the right time, never the right time, never the right time, never the right time. So finally, when it was the right time, and I was just like, okay, now he's done with A through Z, I could finally tell him how I feel. And I guess when I did tell him how I feel, he had just told me I was just going through an anxiety attack 2 minutes ago. And I'm like, darn, now I even feel horrible. But it was just never the right time, because every single time I did want to tell you before, you were going through either the A or the D, anxiety or depression, so I couldn't tell you.
The A or the D, yeah.
But anyways, so thank you for getting better with your conflict resolution.
And another thing too, and I salute to you too, because I feel like you hold on to so much, because I'm going to say a little bit cultural, and because you're such a nurturing person, you want to make sure everybody's good, even though you don't share how you feel.
Yeah.
And you be like, you didn't notice this? I'm like, no, because you might think you do stuff, but you don't do it. I'm like, how would I know that? Because you're always being tough and strong. But for that moment, you actually let me in, and I found out how you really felt. And long story short, at the end of the conversation, both of us in the playpen crying, sharing how we feel. Yeah, like we had a crazy moment where we both in the playpen crying, and our son was laughing. Every time you started
cracking up.
You had tears of my son. He was crying.
Because he didn't know see me do that. He was like, what?
He was just laughing because I think he didn't know what to do with it.
I think he thought I was playing or something.
He probably did, man. I didn't know he was playing. I mean,
I was talking to you seriously, every time I looked at him, I like greeted him with like laughter, or even I'm saying something serious and I'm crying, but the way my personality was towards him was just like, it's okay, what are you doing? What are you playing? And then I would turn to you and like, I had to switch back and forth within like seconds.
It was crazy. It was a dope acting scene. It was a scene in the movie. That was a scene in the playpen. But again, like, it was such a sweet moment because both of us kind of got it out. And it was just a pressure going on in our house that we just didn't address. And that conversation let all the air out. And now we got back to breathing properly.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? While baby was there witnessing the whole thing. But also, I'm glad he had a chance to see it because he can see us do conflict resolution together. Sometimes people don't see that. And as a whole adult, I don't think I've ever seen my parents like resolving that. They just curse each other out and that's it and sleep in the same bed. I'm like, you know how crazy that is to curse somebody out?
I still see that.
And, right, and say stuff that you only say to people in the streets and then lay in the same bed with them? That's nuts, but it's dope. And I think our son will learn conflict resolution too, which is something we're subconsciously teaching him. So I think it's a great place to end the episode, man. First of all, you look great.
Thank you.
I can't not say you look
awesome.
awesome. You look like
Meow.
you look like a Cinnabon.
You look like a whole snap.
You look like a beige Cinnabon. You just look good.
Cinnabon?
Yeah, I love some Cinnabon.
Cinnabon look like this?
You gonna push, girl? Don't play with me. So listen, it's
Let
definitely
us
time
go.
for us to go. All right, we got things to do. Got another sibling to make.
No.
Huh?
No siblings to me.
No, my son needs a sibling.
Yeah, he will. No, right now.
Why not? Because you got your hair done.
I got a purchase from Amazon.
You so stupid. Hey, listen, man. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Q&A with Bay, man. We appreciate you so much, man. If you don't mind, I said if you don't like. If you don't mind, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and follow me, comedian Ron G. But also follow us, Q&A with Bay. It's spelled out Q&A with Bay on YouTube and IG, man. Thank y'all so much, man. And until next time, don't block your blessing. Yeah. And real love is for grown folks. Beautiful. That was dope. Good job.